Today, we're professional food critics. There's this trend where you go to a fancy restaurant and you bring a notepad and the people working think you're a food critic, so you get treated special.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I'm hoping for some free stuff.
I simply Googled fancy restaurants nail me, and this steak restaurant was one of them.
I feel like it was necessary to write some notes outside because they might be peeking through the window. And once they see the notepad and the nice outfit and the writing down, they'll be prepared. Okay, some food critics are coming in. Let's get the best waiters involved.
When we walked in, I immediately started thinking that this place has an uptight fancy vibe, so we might not be able to even write notes or film because they're gonna kick us out for some reason. That didn't happen though. We were just writing notes from the get-go.
We had to note down everything. Our first impression of the space. Was it inviting? Was it cold? All of that is involved with food critique.
I just put it was calm and nice.
You just said it was uptight though.
I
Can
guess
we not trust your reviews?
That's true. Maybe let's continue.
I said music is a good vibe. The Grove, ? I know not everyone knows what the Grove is, but it's an LA outdoor mall. Insert some photos, you all get the vibe. It very much felt like I was at the Grove. It just reminds me of Michael Bublé, basically.
Someone came to our table and poured us a waddle, so immediately I tried it and wrote a note that it was good waddle.
I actually had a little bit of drama with the person coming to the table. I said, lady came up to the table and asked about drinks. Is she my waiter, ? Because she then said, your waiter's on the way. Am I gonna be meeting multiple different waiters? Are we not gonna get a specific waiter? I already was kind of stressed and I had a lot to write down about it.
So your rating was going down for whatever flag you're writing for.
I was just keeping all the notes so I could always look back on them. I'm not saying it necessarily brought anything down at this point. I asked for a Diet Coke and they brought it with a little straw thing on top, which I did like and I noted. That lets you know that they didn't suck on the straw, you know? I mean, technically they could have sucked on the other side of the straw, but, they at least try to make it seem like it's sanitary.
After 5 minutes of writing stuff down, I started to just feel like we were being so annoying. All that's happened is we got drinks, but somehow I was still just writing stuff down, and I just got this vibe that everyone working was like, you guys are annoying, why are you guys writing things down and filming everything?
Yeah, it's funny, seeing someone not only write stuff down, but as they're writing it down, someone else is filming them write down. It gives us such an uneasy feeling. That's what we do, we go around and cause uneasy feelings.
It's fun. We ordered a starter of a jumbo shrimp cocktail. Right away, I was writing good notes because on the description it says 5 jumbo shrimps. But we actually got more than 5.
Yeah, I think we got 7. And that does lead me to believe, just from us writing and scribbling in our little notebooks, did they slip those in for the review?
I don't want to just jump to conclusions, but this might be a situation where they did treat us a little bit better because they knew we had something against We had a lot of power to use against them in this situation.
We were writing a review for Oprah magazine.
We could have been, they don't
Yeah.
know. Usually I don't care about how food looks. I kind of think that's useless. But since I'm a food reviewer, I wrote some stuff about the presentation. Looks nice, but it's only kinda jumbo. They said jumbo, but in my opinion, it's not jumbo enough for me.
Regarding the shrimp, I wrote, it's cute or whatever. And I noted that it was very quick to come out, but that also caused a little bit of drama. Because then when we were done with the shrimp, they brought up the bread. But then I was confused because usually the bread comes out before the appetizer. As a food reviewer, I was bamboozled.
Because it's supposed to be the other way.
Yeah, so I was just kind of thrown off. My brain was going in different directions. I started feeling dizzy.
I was also totally shocked because I've never seen creamed butter with chocolate chips on top, but I'm not closed-minded. I still will give it a try. I was actually very excited. I said they conquered with 3 exclamation marks. I loved it a lot with 3 exclamation marks.
Something about the bread was just so good. And the butter, whipped or something, right? Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, creamed. With the shrimp cocktail, my professional food critic review was it tasted like grocery store shrimp cocktail, but here's the thing. I don't know how you can make it better than a grocery store shrimp cocktail.
Yeah, I think shrimp cocktail is gonna taste the same across the board. Grocery stores, gas stations, 5-star restaurants, like it literally is just plain shrimp.
Yeah, so I don't even know if I would put that in the review. I think I would just put in the review, classic shrimp cocktail, no frills.
I love a good shrimp cocktail.
If I legitimately was a food critic, I think I would be drinking wine during every meal because wine pairs well with food, I think. So I poured some of my water into my wine glass and lived like a food critic.
I think this is around the time it hit me on, in 2023, would a food critic even bring a notepad to a restaurant, or wouldn't they just be on their little digital notepad? Or do you think they do bring a notebook just to give a little subtle heads up to the crew that maybe there's a food critic in the building?
I don't know, because you could say it's rude to be on your phone at a restaurant.
Oh,
Whereas writing down in a notebook is more low-key.
Classy.
At about this time, I had to use the restroom. I don't even know if a food reviewer would do this, but I did give a review of the restroom. Clean. Period. Nice paper towels. Previous person didn't flush. I don't think that's the restaurant's problem. I just think it speaks volumes about the people that used this restroom before me. They were so rude that they didn't flush their own urine. I wouldn't even include that in my Oprah review though. Then the main courses came in a timely manner. I got a salmon thing, and then we shared some au gratin potatoes.
I got fire brick chicken, I think is what it was called. Had some peppers and some little taters on the bottom. And just from the presentation alone, I penned, "This is rich bitch life." I'm stunned. Something about just the way it all looked and came together, I actually was stunned. Like the au gratin potatoes, I remember I was just in disbelief looking at it.
The very first thing I wrote down was, the whole meal looks creamable. My intestines would cream this up. Usually I'm not a fan of fancy restaurants. This fancy restaurant kind of opened my eyes that like they can be good.
I actually feel like this one was worth the money.
I tried the au gratin potatoes and they exceeded my expectations. They were elegant. They were so cheesy and greasy, which I liked. I already voiced this, but I feel just so obnoxious. And yes, I already been multiple times where me and Lucas are journaling, doing our reviews, and the waitress comes up. So who knows what she thought we were doing, but she was aware that we were filming everything and journaling everything.
Yeah, and I actually liked her approach. Like, she wasn't coming off so super strong. She was more like just being super casual and cool and nice. Like, she wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna be so over the top nice. She was more just like, you guys are like annoying, but I'm just gonna act normal. I don't know what you guys are trying to do.
For the salmon, I wrote down that it was elegant, I like it, and the lemon is a good add.
First impression of the food was slap me mama, exclamation point. And then I did do a little bit of a con saying, I kind of thought it was dry upon my first bite of the chicken, but then as I got deeper into the chicken, I realized it wasn't dry. But some of the outer pieces were dry, but that's because it was made in a fire brick. Of course that's gonna dry it out a little bit.
There is a con about being a food reviewer because you can't even really fully enjoy anything. For example, I ate the asparagus with my hands, but then I have to immediately review the asparagus. But there's nothing really to review, like the asparagus is just asparagus.
But then you have to come up with all these descriptions about it, and then you're not even enjoying the food because you're just coming up with these complex essays.
We were eating our main meal for a few minutes, and I looked behind because I was expecting them to be bringing so much food to us because they knew that we were food reviewers, so they want to treat us special by giving us extra food. But there was no one. If you look at this video footage, we probably didn't even need to give a review. In my opinion, you can't say anything bad about the food if you scrape the plate so clean it looks like you licked it. Then the dessert menu came, and I was like, heck yeah, let's order the dessert because it's probably gonna be free, I'm just guessing.
Yeah, I assumed when we gave the order, they would say, by the way, it's on the house.
Or maybe they wouldn't even say that, but when they give us the check, I just would look at it and it wouldn't even be on there. We ordered this peanut butter pie thing. When it came in like 5 minutes, I was thrown across the room because the whole time while we were waiting, I was joking to Lucas, watch it be the peanut butter pie from Costco, and they just cut a slice and they put a timer for 5 minutes and then bring it to you 5 minutes later so they act like they like did something. But I was wowed when it was actually like a homemade concoction.
Yeah, I also noted that I don't know if this was because we were food reviewers, but they had this other guy who we hadn't met yet bring out the pie, and he sort of gave like a whole monologue. It's just like he kind of came to the table with a skit. Felt like a monologue where he was like, okay, I'm gonna be like really charismatic. So they said, okay, throw him to them for a second so he'll be included in the review, you know, for Oprah's magazine.
The dessert was so good. It felt like I was eating nacho because there was peanuts on the side.
I'm so confused what I wrote. I said, yes, I'm so good. Isn't there a thing like a spirit can possess you when you write?
Yeah, that can happen.
I'm creeped out. I was like, I want to make this for Thanksgiving and wow the whole family. Because it wasn't like rich, but it wasn't light. It was like this, honestly, perfect.
We scoffed it down, and then I looked behind us again because I was just like, okay, it's coming to an end. I feel like I'm gonna look behind. The most famous person from Omaha, Nebraska is gonna like shake our hand. We were in Omaha, Nebraska, so I thought like they would bring out
Warren Buffett.
The lady that brought the check wasn't a waitress. I don't know if it was like the manager or something, but she brought us the check and said,
was everything okay with your waiter? Were you pleased?
That's happened before at other restaurants where they just say, oh, was your experience good? I don't know if I'm making it up, but it did feel like more of a moment this time.
Yeah, like I feel like maybe it was because of the notebooks. That the manager stepped in and said, okay, maybe let's figure this out. What magazine are they writing for? Let's make sure they left with a good impression.
Everything that we got was on the check.
So you're saying we have to pay for everything we ordered? No.
I paid for it and gave no tip. No, I did give them a tip. Don't worry, guys.
A good tip.
So that was a total flop.
They're gonna run out here and say, oh my god, why'd you guys leave? Like, we had a whole presentation for you guys or something?
No, we're just dumb and we fell for the little TikTok trend.
God.
Get out of my face, guys.